Have you ever been judged for something you didn't even do? That's where my story begins. In a quiet suburban neighborhood where my new home stood out with its sparkling backyard pool. I'd moved to Willow Creek 6 months ago, chasing a fresh start after a grueling divorce. The pool was my sanctuary, a place to unwind, host barbecues, and let my kids splash away their worries. But not everyone saw it that way. Enter Karen, the self-appointed guardian of neighborhood perfection. She lived 3 houses down, always clutching a clipboard like it was her scepter. From day one, she eyed my pool parties with disdain, her lips pursed tighter than a lemon. I shrugged it off, live and let live, right? But Karen had other plans. She started leaving notes on my doorstep. Pool lights too bright, laughter too loud, unapproved pool float colors. I laughed at first, thinking she was just eccentric. Then the demands escalated. Karen began citing HOA regulations I'd never heard of. She'd knock on my door, waving papers about pool dimensions, fence heights, and even the shade of my patio umbrella. I'd politely explain I wasn't part of any HOA property, was just outside their jurisdiction. A fact I'd confirmed with the county. But Karen wouldn't hear it. Rules are rules, she'd snap, her voice dripping with superiority. She rallied neighbors, whispering about my non-compliant pool, turning friendly faces cold. The tension grew thicker than summer humidity. One day, a new face appeared. Tom, a retired lawyer who just moved in next door. He was quiet, observant, with a knack for defusing conflict. Tom overheard Karen's latest tirade about my pool's unauthorized diving board and casually asked to see her HOA bylaws. Karen bristled but handed them over. Tom's eyes twinkled as he read, and he promised to look into things. I didn't think much of it until the storm hit. Karen's crusade peaked at the annual neighborhood picnic. She stormed up to my table, now armed with a megaphone, and declared my pool a public nuisance. She'd filed complaints with the city, claiming my pool violated zoning laws and HOA codes. The crowd murmured, some nodding along, others looking uneasy. My heart sank. Me kids were there, watching their safe haven be vilified. I tried to explain again that I wasn't in the HOA, but Karen shouted me down. You're ruining our community, she bellowed, her face red as the sunset. Then came the twist. Tom stood up, clearing his throat. Karen, he said calmly, I've reviewed the HOA boundaries and county records. This man's property isn't under your HOA's control. In fact, your complaints to the city are baseless and you've been warned for harassment. The crowd gasped. Karen's jaw dropped, her megaphone slipping. Tom wasn't done. He revealed Karen had been fining neighbors for years, pocketing penalties for her own gain, all under the guise of HOA authority. She wasn't just wrong about mesh, was a fraud. The fallout was swift. The city dismissed Karen's complaints, and an investigation into her HOA practices began. Neighbors, furious at her deception, demanded her resignation as HOA president. Karen's clipboard empire crumbled. My pool? It became the neighborhood's favorite hangout. Kids splashed, adults laughed, and I hosted a barbecue to celebrate. Tom was the hero of the night, raising a glass to freedom from petty tyrants. Karen moved away a month later, her house sold quietly. Rumors swirled she'd tried her tactics in another town, only to face legal trouble again. My kids asked if we'd ever see her again. I smiled and said, not if justice keeps working. My pool sparkled under the stars, a symbol of resilience against overreach. What do you think was Karen's downfall, fair, or did she deserve a second chance? Share your thoughts below.